Shout out to everybody here. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Another beautiful day God has given us to be alive. You get all caught up in the price action. You don't even live your life, and I've done it before. Don't do it to me. Don't do it to me out there. Enjoy your life. Let's get the music going. Smile out there. I hope you're smiling. And we made some gains in the trading group where I did. I'm not sure if everyone did because they might not have had my same sleeping habits. But I was up till about 12 in the morning. And about 12 a.m. I got into oil last night because I felt, they're going to mess with the Strait of Hormuz. They're going to pump this puppy to the upside. And so I saw oil getting tight right there. And that's above the 200 moving average. They were curling up on the stochastics. Saw this kind of as a bigger double bottom. This is a double bottom. I said, man, that tells me oil's about to move. I gave the trade to the group. I said, hey, oil looks like it's going to pump. There's a stop loss, an entry with a take profit. I woke up the next morning, that exact thing just ripped. I mean, it was a no-brainer trade. I'm not saying it happens like that every time, but it happened like that this time. And so I woke up to money, kept moving my stop loss, started with 23, ended with 93, and yeah, unbelievable. Actually, 133 when we sold. Let's go. Yes. Once I was up 133%, I figured I'd take it off the table, and that's what I did at this kind of high right here. And we'll take a look at oil where it is now. And you can trade oil on BTCC. That's where I was trading oil right there. Hit the link, hit the QR code if you want to jump on in. It's right there. Or the link provided in the pinned comment. Also weeks and MEXC, depending on where you are in the world and what gets you going. And look, there was 333 and 777s involved in the trade. Then I said I took profits on oil. I tell people when I take profits. I tell people what I'm doing. So there you go. So last night, the oil trade, Bitcoin kind of slumped. Looked like Bitcoin was going to dump to the downside here the last time I looked at it. Let's take a look at BTC. Are you the oil lifer or are you the crypto lifer? We're not sure now. And what are we going to start with today? We're going to start with some turmeric. I got a lot of inflammation down there in my leg. We want to keep that at bay, right? The naturalist way we can. Let's get it going with some turmeric. Will make your pee yellow. Just saying. And wow, you want to wash that down with a little bit of lemon water? If you can. And there you have it, folks. There you have it. And we still have the bone broth my wife brings me every single day. I know I'm drinking a lot. You're like, when is this guy going to go to the bathroom? What's going on over here? Shout out to all the beautiful people here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Let's do our top-down analysis for Bitcoin. Looks like it's trying to do a double bottom here, but we were looking at Bitcoin recently here. It took the dump, went lower, almost went to the target. The target was just the length of this. It's called a descending triangle. Okay, we came down. We did get a bounce, though, so far for Bitcoin. Let's see if there's some trading to be had today for BTC. Let's have some fun and see what's going on, all right? But I did wake up to gains, which has been great, right? So we sold gold yesterday. We traded oil last night. And again, it's just about trading whatever makes, I'm looking for a flag that breaks out, man. You know what I'm saying? Just give me a flag and do what you're supposed to do. Like right here, this was the trade of trades for Bitcoin right there. I mean, that's just get into the flag, touch of the 21, it breaks out. Like, I'm not looking for a lot of hassle. You know what I'm saying? I trade this puppy here, give me the flag, let it break out, get into some money. This right here, give me the flag. You know what I'm saying? Let me get some paper. This one here, let me get that flag. I'm not trying to make it hard on myself, you know what I mean? These are the ones I like. But it's been, So that's what I go for. This one was, looked like it was going to get started, but you could see the 21 way away from the 200? That's different than when the 21 and the 200 are close together. There's a difference there. And what am I talking about? Let's kind of break it down. Let's have some fun. I'm going to do the top-down analysis. Then I'm going to kind of go into, we're going to really kind of break down what it means to use moving averages. Who wants to have like a moving average boot camp today? Have some fun, huh? Who wants to have some fun with Uncle Tom, huh? But who wants to jump on in and have a good time and do some, back testing analysis with the moving averages? I think that's going to be a good time for most of you. Because most of you know the death card. A few little things, but let's kind of gear you up. Let's get your mind going. Let's download some data into your brain for free. See, that the key is to give what you can when you can, because you never know when you can again. That's what a true teacher is, someone that understands that life isn't guaranteed. So you're just logical. A logical person knows that nobody knows when they're going to go. Like, that's just a logical statement, right? It's just a fact. Sad to say. Some people say, no, you can go to a psychic. There's all these ways. You can look at your palm. Whatever, you know what I mean? But for the most part, unless you're like in the Akashic Record angel or something, nobody knows where they're going to go. If so, nobody knows where they're going to go, you never know when your last opportunity is to give, do you? No. So, therefore, you just give whenever you can, because that way it covers it. You know what I mean? So if you give whenever you can, you're covered to be kind of, make sure you're giving on your last day. I want to be known as giving on my last day, so I'm forced to be here every day to give my strategies away for free, right? See, you know what I mean? I've committed to that. That's what I've committed to. Whether it makes me rich or broke, it doesn't matter. I have to do what I got to do. You see what I'm saying? Still looks pretty bearish to me, Bitcoin. It looks like it's kind of struggling. Almost kind of want to extend this into a bigger descending triangle, you see? And that could go further to the downside. I don't know what we're doing there. I ain't turning no lights down low there. Sorry about that. It's a little weird. I like this one here. Dream by OOYY. Oi, I believe you would call it. Yeah, this just looks bearish to me. You see how it's kind of like shoulder, head, right shoulder vibe. Retest of the neckline. You got a bearish, you come down to the high volume node here. Boom, right? Anyway. I think the turmeric's hit me. I can't stop. I think I'm sorry. That's not funny. Sorry. Sorry, that's not funny. I don't mean to offend anybody. You know what I mean? I don't mean to. Can I do the show without my glasses? Remember, I used to be able to do the show without my glasses. The lights are bright, though. They kind of like, you know what I mean? The glasses almost fend off a little bit of blue light, too. I used to be able to do the show, remember, like this. I didn't always have glasses on. I was always like, hey, smooth Sammy. Anyway, let's do our top 10 analysis. Right now, I see a dump for Bitcoin, though. Kind of happy with my gains for the morning, for my morning sesh. I went to bed 12:30, set the trade at 12 a.m., woke up at 8. Actually, I don't want to tell you guys the truth. But I think last night during the blood moon, it did something to my injury. I promise that full moon did something, and around like the time of the blood moon, like between 3 and 5 a.m. last night, I tell you what, man, my foot. So did anyone else have an injury that felt strange last night during the blood moon? I got to ask this question. I was really begging to see if we could find this answer, because last night I was in murderous pain. Like to the point where I was breathing heavy and asking God for help. Like, I'm not lying. Like, you know what I mean? And I sound like such a wuss saying that. But I was like, my wife eventually woke up and she heard me and I wasn't even like making any noise I wasn't like trying to be I was just breathing heavy, just like she could hear me, and she was like, are you? And I was like, I'm fighting through it right now. It was insane. So I was in immense pain last night between like, I'm gonna say 3 and 5. Yet I really didn't look at the time. Right? Anyway, last night was a blood moon. Just so you know, it was a full lunar eclipse, right? I don't want to call it a full lunar eclipse, but it was sometime. Last night was an eclipse. First, last night was a total lunar eclipse known as a blood moon, The moon turned a reddish-orange hue as it passed through the Earth's umbra, the darkest part of its shadow. The event was visible across the Americas. Yeah. The next total North America will not occur until the New Year's Eve, 2028. So 2028, we have the blood moon. And I swear they do blood moons, right? Something weird about the blood moon. Someone said, yeah, exactly. Purim. I learned about the Purim yesterday. Interesting. Let's leave that for another topic. But yeah, it's funny. That was the exact thing that was on my mind. And then you said it. I swear you guys are spot on. Anyway, look at Bitcoin. The 21's below the 200 moving average. 15-minute making what looks to me as a descending triangle. These mainly break to the downside, folks. Kind of generally give you the vibe of a head and shoulder pattern that wants to roll further to the downside. Bitcoin not looking amazing to me. It really needed to bounce last night off that top trend line. It did not. So, yeah, most symptoms such as pain, etc., is a sign your body is healing. That's what I was telling myself. I said, you know what? I'll get through this no matter what. I'll make it. Then I woke up to my oil trade and it made me happy. And I realized I was such addicted to gains. I was addicted to the gains, man. I've been doing the sauce, So anyway, let's take a look at what's happening here on the monthly chart. Bitcoin on the monthly, we are really asking, please, so nicely, for the traders out there in the world to buy a Bitcoin. Investment banks, big people, private equity, just get a little bit in there. And if everyone buys a little bit, we could just close this monthly candle on March, right? So, could we ask the word for a little bit of buy pressure, can we? Is that, we're not asking a lot, just a little bit of buy pressure from the world. Would be nice, you know what I mean? Just a little bit here. A little Japanese yen, you know what I mean? Little Korean won, right? If I'm saying it right. Little London. Let's get the UK in there, you know what I mean? So anyway, we're looking for the monthly to close a bullish green candle next to a red one. If it does that, we may have ourselves a move. It was green. It was looking okay, but now, no. And that's what I was saying. I said I wanted the monthly to dump a little more than it did. You don't really want it to dump, then pump, then dump again. Usually not the best story. Morning Glory, my mom used to say. What's the story, Morning Glory, she would say. God bless my mom, Irene Price. She's a beautiful woman. See, I haven't cried about my mom in a while, right? Hey. I haven't been crying in a while, right? Let's just say it's the last time you heard me cry, man. You know what I mean? The guy cries on stream like a baby. My parents died during the stream. Not during the stream, but my dad I got a phone call right as I ended the stream about my father. My mom, in a way, you could say, I don't know how you say it, whatever. Anyway, the point is, yeah, I went through a lot of pain while and I never took a day off of the stream. So instead of taking days off and hiding my emotions, I pushed through them. And sometimes people saw exactly the pain I was really going through, I could talk about my mom some days and I can just do it really strong. My mom and my dad both passed unexpectedly 7 months apart in 2023. In the same year, my dad died in May. Was it the same year? Yeah, my dad died in May. My mom died in November. And we never thought my mom was going to die. There was just so unexpected. My mom's death was just wow. That really, and it was on Thanksgiving Day. Anyway, back to brass tacks. I'm not here to get pity and make you feel sorry for me. But I'm just telling you the truth and what life was, what it is. Anyway, can the 2-week chart close a green one next to a red one? This is the first thing that has to happen, folks, for any type of way out of here, right? I still see it likely, right now, I'm under the impression this will change if they show us something. If the bears show me something in the next 2 or 3 days, we get confirmation above a moving average. Yes, but right now, I'm just still under the impression that we're making a bear flag. And, I keep seeing this key level every single time Bitcoin has come down from a 4-year cycle. It's retraced back to the 786. Everyone says we're not in a 4-year cycle anymore. Things have changed. too much buy pressure due to ETFs, but like, let's just go for the fact that we went on a cycle, came down. And let's just go for the fact that we would just go through another cycle as usual. It's kind of fun to do. You know, I like to do the fractal version of these things. You grab bars pattern, you could say if this was the high, just like that was the high, there's the bear flag, and you can kind of match those. Right? So you could say there's your high, there's your bear flag, and you know, maybe this is the, you know, maybe we make a low, something like this. It'll be amazing, right? Like we only dump down to 59, 58K, and then we break out where you get to 160, but that's 160 by, you know, even on a one of the best moves Bitcoin ever made with big money coming in. We get to like 169 by September of 2029. I just want to make it realistic for people to see. And it looks like we may go lower. Like this may come down to the 786 like this. And it may be 150 by March of 2030. Like people say, dang, man, we could only maybe double in a little bit. And I'd say, yeah, I mean, you got to be realistic about it. I'm not trying to be the bear. And people are like, wow, man, this guy's the most bearish Bitcoin guy I've ever met. I thought we were going to $1 million. I think, you know, we can. But to me, it's more like 2037, 2038. Again, there could be a scarcity issue with hyperinflation. I'm hoping for an event that I can't calculate. Honestly, I'm in Bitcoin for a risk-on issue where there's an event that I can't calculate right now, where there's such inflation that Bitcoin will go up in value. But you have to remember, once it hits $1 million, it's going to be worth like, I don't know. I'd say 480 grand of today's money. You see what I'm saying? Because it's only going to hit $1 million when they inflate the dollar to insanity. So it's going to protect you. Don't get me wrong. If you're in the dollar, you're going to lose all that value. If you're in Bitcoin, at least you're going to have way more than you had. You see what I'm saying? And you know, so it's going to go up in value. You're going to have more than you had, but they're also going to inflate money in general. So just things to think about. Every year you become a millionaire, it's less money than it was to become a millionaire before. You get what I'm saying? Like 5 years from now, $1 million will be worth way less than it was. And every 5 years, and they keep doing that. So eventually you're going to have to be worth like 50 mil to be worth 5 mil. You see what I'm saying? That's why the rich stay richer, man. No matter how rich you get, like they always stay richer than you because they have more than you from the beginning. And what you do, you don't compare yourself to others. You just start your own little legacy, your own little journey. And it's about being sustainable, really. If you make sustainability the goal, your own land, your own food, your own cows, your own goat milk, your own eggs, stuff like this. If you make sustainability your goal, I really feel like you're the rich person, because at that point, it's a fun game to play because you're doing your own thing every day. And you're making it happen for you, yourself, and your family. You're independent, especially if you're the man that's doing that for your family. It's very rewarding. Very rewarding. Anyway, let's take a look here. So the weekly needs to keep this green candle, please. Oh, please, for at least something. But to me, I'm still under the impression that it could be in with that wick from the downside already, man. Gosh, they're already making it hard. Already making it hard on us over here. Two big wicks here on the 5-day chart too as well. Let's take a look at the 3-day chart. And if I look at the 3-day chart, and this is a projection flag on the weekly, so we don't have to really, like, you know, that's like what could happen way out when. You don't want to stick to that like it's a have-to moment. Like, this is a have-to because this is a real trend line. You know, at the end of the day, I mean, this still, to me, fat figured that, but I saved it. This still, to me, looks somewhat like, you know, a symmetrical triangle on the 3-day chart. Like, they had it and then they didn't have it. And they keep doing that. Like, they keep making it. Every single pump is a dump. And I said that yesterday. Remember, I didn't trust it. Yesterday's pump, I didn't trust. I tell you to sell the whole thing the whole way up. I kept being like, And there they have it, playing games, you know. Are you playing games over here? I'm always talking to my kids. Are you playing games? Hey, she's playing games. She ain't going to bed. She's playing, you know, when they say they're going to do something, but then they're like milling around the kitchen looking for one. I'm getting a glass of water. Anyone have kids and I'm getting a glass of water story? Oh my gosh. If you're a new parent and your kid's like 4 to 5, they'll learn that they can get a glass of water, right? This is their thing. And then you'll put them to bed and they'll say, oh, I just wanted to get a glass of water. I was thirsty. And they'll come back out of bed. Like, you'll put them to bed. You'll think it's all set. You'll start whatever, maybe, a project, maybe you and your wife will start to talk, whatever it is. You'll get comfortable, and then a knock at the door. You hear feet shuffling. Oh, I just need to get a glass of water. I'm always like, I've been through this. Now what I do to my kids is as they're going to bed, as my kids are going to bed, I'm like, no. This is what you shut it down. Are you ready? I'm the best parent ever. I'm going to hook you up. As they're going to bed, you say, all right, the last few weeks you've been getting up for a glass of water. I said, you know what? Do me a favor. Get yourself a cup here and get yourself a glass of water. Put it next to your bed. I want to see you getting up for a glass of water again. All right? That ends that story. All right? No more getting up and asking for a glass of water again. Now go to bed. You got to be stern with your kids, especially if you're the father. You don't have to be mean. You don't have to scream and yell, but you got to be stern. My son, every night, I need some water. Yeah, they play games, man. It's a game, man. They're playing you. They're seeing, are you going to tuck me in? Yeah. Mine says she has to use the bathroom, then finds her way to the playroom. So funny, right? It's the funniest thing ever, man. Interesting. Let's get back into BTC here on the 1 minute time frame. See if we get a good trade pumping at us on a beautiful Tuesday too. One of my favorite mornings to trade. It's above the 200, but it's kind of scarce right now. It's not looking absolutely amazing. We'll take a look. I got my week's account cooking ready for a scalp. If we see something, I will say something. The last time it did break above the 200, we didn't even need to wait for the 21 to catch. It just was gone. Like you get in right now, put the stop below here, and just let that thing rip, right? And, what if we... And then you just challenge it there. I tell you what, man, I asked God why the pain last night. I said, dear Lord, please explain to me why. Like, just teach me why I'm going through so much pain, dear Lord. Like, what did I almost want to say, like, what did I do? Like, because the pain is incredulous at night, man. Last night I believe it's a nerve ending that wants to go back to where it used to be. Like, it wants to find itself, and it can't. It's almost like it gets angry. I can't explain it, man. That's the only... I'm coming up with whatever I can here because the pain is almost, it's like, oh my God, it feels like someone is grinding a knife into the back and it's away from where the cut was, which is interesting. You know what I mean? You think it would be where the cut was, but it's not where the cut is, which I don't understand. It'll make no sense to me, Would have sworn I posted it. It's crazy. I would have sworn I posted it, but anyway. Let's see what happens here. Bitcoin back above the 200 moving average on the 1 minute. We might get ourselves a little bit of a pump. 67,000 has been holding pretty nice. Lately just buying the 200 has been good. Sammy, always grinded. You're an inspiration. I need to learn these moving averages better. Yeah, we're going to do it, man. We're going to talk about it. In a second, we're going to break it down for you. All right? We're going to really, really show you guys what you need to know. Stay tuned. Stay focused. Stay with me. All right? So the daily, man, we got to see if the daily can stay above this trend line, really. As crazy as this sounds. It could just be a retest of the trend line. We're back outside the pattern slightly on the daily. 4-hour time frame looking like it could make a bounce here off the 21, you see? Like when I get it tight here, I see it as a bullish retest of this trend, On the daily base here, on the daily and on the 4-hour time frame, you'd even kind of pull that up there and it's like, almost want to say, look, look at this here. You can kind of really build this into what looks to be like an ascending triangle, right? That's what I see happening for here for Bitcoin. Bit of a double bottom with a higher low. There's a cup and a handle with that big pump yesterday. That was amazing. So, but you got to break this 200 moving average. You know, a lot of people say, no, it's just a massive bear flag. And I'm with that. You know what I mean? I got it. I got you. I'm not saying it, it doesn't look amazing. I'll tell you. But if we can get it into this tight zone and start to get real tight in here, and that's why I just dissect price action little bit by bit. It's like building a road, right? They don't build the road, a highway. They go, 100 yards at a time, 10 yards at a time, 5 yards at a time, and they build the road. So above the pen, shout out to Vegas Club. Angeli is doing nice today. Interesting. No pain, no gain. Yeah, no. Repair of nerves can be felt in spots near the cut. Interesting. Well, I'll tell you, man, when the sun goes down every night between like 6 and 8 o'clock, the pain is pretty crazy. Yeah, I don't know why, but it just is. And then last night, the pain was just the worst it ever was, almost like the worst it ever was this entire time I've been hurt, which is crazy to me because you'd think it would start to kind of. Anyway, I'm done. It's over. I'm fine. I still put out a gold trade at 12 a.m. I still woke up at 8 winning. You know what I'm saying? I left Bitcoin alone. Bitcoin was just too much for me. Now, oil looked so much more like a pleasure to trade. So I traded what I love to see. And I got rewarded for just doing what I like to do, right? So let's get back. So here we are on the 4-hour time frame. You can see as we whittled it down from the smaller to the bigger time frame. So there's a possible you enter right here with a stop below the wick and we get a pump to the upside here today. That's a possibility. We are staying above what's called the 200 moving average on the 1 hour, this yellow line here. I'm going to teach you how to add the moving averages. I'm going to show you how it works on multiple assets, no matter what asset in the world. I'm going to teach you how to backtest it. You're going to have a blast today. By the end of this, you're going to be like a moving average genius. And you're going to be like, just don't be pompous with the information. Okay? Because you're going to know a lot. And you're going to be knowing more than most. And you're going to understand why when they go short or long, you're going to laugh. You're going to chuckle because you're going to be like, why would you do that? You know what I mean? Like there's someone shorting above the 200 moving average in the 1 hour time frame. Look, that's very oversold. Getting a bounce, that's a bullish engulfing candle. Bitcoin is bouncing. You can see it's getting pretty ferocious. And again, even if you just bought that candle above the 200, you could have scalped that already for gains. Some people are vicious. That 5-10 minute right there, they're already in. They can make 10 grand doing that. I mean, I don't suggest that you have to be super high risk. Well, look at that double bottom. It's a double bottom. And now this candle's bigger than that candle. You got to respect the bullish engulfing candle. Off the point of control on the VRVP with the gap back to the upside. Pumped it in 2 hours, slowly dumped it in 20 hours. You see? We said it was going back to the 21. The 4 hour wanted the 21. You see? Back to the 4 hour 21-day moving average. It'll come back to the 4 hour 21, the daily 21, the 1 hour. Look at that. That's basically a double bottom on the 15. And now you really start taking a look. You see and then here we are. 3 minute above the 200, 1 minute. And so now, like, you either, I don't ape in. But lately, aping in has been the payday, right? Which has been crazy. But I don't break my rules. I want to see a flag now of some type here on the 1 minute above the 200. It might happen here. It might happen somewhere up here. You know what I'm saying? Like, it might do it here. I don't know exactly where it's going to flag out. I just know that eventually it's going to flag out. At 20, it's going to have to come back to that 21. But that's a nice pump to the upside. Another short squeeze for Bitcoin crossing the 200, never coming back to the 21 early. Getting a nice move to the upside here. Kind of see like a hidden anatomy. It's just got it's weird, but there's a bit of a flag there, cup and handle. You take a look and you can see a squeeze happening there on Bookmap. Again, Bookmap suggesting we go lower with all the liquidity down there, but that's just not being respected at the present moment in time. And it's not 100%. That's the thing about it. Pretty spot on, but it's not 100. Never was. Nothing is. Will Bitcoin grow tonight? Will you grow tonight? I don't know. That's such a funny question. Hilarious. I think you're being funny, but Sammy, always grounded. You're an inspiration. I need to learn these moving averages. We're going to get to that. Thank you, Nick, Bobby, Nikki, Ricky Bobby. Shout out to Ricky Bobby. Bitcoin ripping 67.7 back to where it was at the high there. Wow. I mean, it hit 70K yesterday. Again, I don't need to, but just for, for purposes of what was going on. And see, look, we're already up. I already made dang near $1,500 today trading oil. And I was in the trade during the night, so like I didn't even really have to actively think about it. I opened it, went to sleep, and I had to trade it the first, and apologize to everyone too. Like when I first woke up, it was I woke up in the morning just like absolutely taken aback by the pain I'd been in for hours in the morning. It was one of the toughest nights I had had. Whatever, man, I'm done. Stop talking about it. But anyway, so I woke up a little different than normal. Fought through it all, cleaned my, you know what I mean? Saw the win on oil. And again, I want to keep you concentrated. If you're in my group, like I'm going to keep you concentrated. Like we might do 1-2 trades a week when the market is slow. The key is to win. We've been winning the trades, man. I gave you gold. We took it for gains. And gold could have taken 10 days, 12 days. It didn't matter. The key is to stick with it until you're happy with the trade. Everyone thinks they got to play by everyone else's rules, but nobody is you. Who cares what anyone else is doing? Who cares how much gains they're making? Who cares? You know what I mean? You can learn by all means. Take a look at their position size. Take a look at what's happening. But I mean, at the end of the day, just you're battling your portfolio from yesterday. You're turning what you have into something more from yesterday. You're not competing with anyone else but yourself. And remember that too. Whenever you're kind of like you get a little edgy, you feel like you have to win because you saw someone else win. It doesn't happen to me per se. I don't act it out, but every once in a while I get the inkling of what that thought could be like. I see like I'm like, oh, and then I'm like, come on, man. I'm so grateful for what I have in my life. Like, it's interesting how we can all think though as human beings, you can have more than 99% of the world and still feel like you don't have enough. But that's why you got to always go to gratitude. Always. Best mentor in the game. Can you review fib retracement, por favor? Yes, we can. We double up today, I guess, right? Yeah. When I go over something, I get in depth, though. It could take into like a lot of time. So I want to make sure if I'm ready to tackle it, I'm ready to really go in depth. Maybe we move it to tomorrow. All right, I touch on it lightly today, but we move it to tomorrow. It's really simple when you break it down. 68,296. I think I have to honor the super chat in a way, I guess. So that's, we'll do it. 67,182. I mean, I always honor the super chats. That's the code of the stream, right? That's kind of the deal, the unspoken contract. That's why people throw down. So, this would be cool if we could make a nice flag here on the 1 minute time frame and get busy. Busy bee, baby. I'll move up to 68,900 for Bitcoin. Getting tight, too. It's Tuesday, best day to day trade. We're already up on one trade, so we can risk a little bit. We can risk a little bit of the biscuit. I feel like there's definitely some headroom there. Dang, man, it's starting to get like you got to be precise on this, though. Because, see, now you're at a 2-to-1. You kind of ruin the ratio there. Stochastics are low, telling me that there could be a nice move. that might be the entry right there. I'm going to nab it right there. So that's a live trade here on the show on Weeks. And you can drag and drop your stop loss nicely. Okay. I just like how the 21's above the 200 price action starting to flat out. I'd say, 6 to, in a good market, in a horrible market, 3 out of 10 times this plays out. In a great market, 8 out of 10 times this plays out. So it has a high probability even in the worst standards, but that still means 7 out of 10 times it ain't going to play out when you got low volume. When do you not want to do this? Like Saturday mornings. I've seen it happen 7 days a week though. That's the craziest thing. It happened recently on Sunday and it was the perfect idea to get in, So look, it's we'll see. We'll see how it goes. $22,000 trade, $2,400, $2,448 at 9x leverage. So not a big trade, not a huge trade. I mean, it's still crazy, right? To make $40 in less than a minute. We'll see where it goes. Remember, I already made a little under like $1,500 trading oil this morning. I ate it while I was asleep, while I was writhing in pain. While I was moving in pain, screaming at night. No, I wasn't screaming. I don't want to wake up my family, but I was breathing heavy. I was definitely like, it was intense. It was intense. Hey, you know what? Sometimes, I guess pain is fun. I don't even know what to say. Sometimes pain is fun. I don't know. Right? People are like, what is he saying? Well, I got my Achilles tendon ruptured. I then went in for surgery 2 weeks ago. I had the stitches out on Friday, which, feel like it will be a week ago tomorrow. It happened so fast. We're looking for this flag to continue to pump here on the 1 minute. It looks like it may. Bitcoin getting frisky here on the smaller time frames. So see what we did? We kind of took us. Hey, he hit me in the took us. I took us from the small time frames, from the monthly all the way down to the 1 hour candle, right? And you kind of start to see what's happening for Bitcoin, kind of see where we're going. Smaller to bigger, bigger to smaller. See, you really need the bounce here. Otherwise, that's some bear div, and that's going to dump on me. Yeah, there's some bear div there. It doesn't look amazing. We'll see, though. It's not as strong on the 1 minute. Lately, the scalps have been tougher to trade for whatever reason. It's been easier to trade a 4 hour, a 1 hour, or less difficult. Not easier, but less difficult. I've been having higher probabilities with smaller time frame. Not saying it happens every time. Okay, so let's kind of do some back testing as we let this puppy cook. It looks like we could win this puppy. And this would be great. It will just be another add-on to the day. And, you go for I go for $2,000 to $5,000 a day. Some days it's more, some days it's less. Some days it's nothing. Some days it's a loss. For the most part, though, you guys see it. Like today, we're up so far, so let's see where it goes. The key is once you're up, when you've made over 1,000 to 2,000 that day, is you don't go and now go, okay, I'm going 2,000 for me personally. You do whatever makes you happy. I'm not a financial advisor, but I then don't go 2,000 for 6,000 and say, okay, I'd like, you know what I mean? I'm like, you know what? Today's a winning day. As long as I only risked 300 now, I go home up $1,200. You know what I mean? The key to becoming wealthy is to respect every dollar you make and to really to have a lot of gratitude for every single win that you have. You know what I'm saying? Like it's every time no matter how small the win is, you have gratitude. It builds. I've learned that too. And so I used to get insecure about taking smaller gains when maybe people think I'm of a higher net worth, whatever the idea is. And why does he care? And I learned it doesn't matter because I have to be on my own gratitude train. You know what I mean? If it's $100, I have to have gratitude. If it's $300, because gratitude is what got me here in the first place. And I can never disrespect the abundance and the high frequency in which it prevails, right? So Got to keep doing the same thing over and over again. Does look like some bear div kind of curving down on me. So I cut off the small loss, or do we let it cook? I already wanted it to pump from now. It's already looking a little Anyway, let's talk about moving averages for a split second here and kind of bounce out. You guys see what we're going on. You got the live trade on your minds. You see what I did there. It's I may cover. Oh, nice little bounce there out of nowhere. Start to kind of clean the plane off. Just going off what I've seen for years and years and years and years of watching the 1 minute, right? So you're like, you're kind of playing with this idea. Again, this is high risk for most people, right? It's the 1 minute. You're very close to price action. I didn't get my stop below the 200, which is kind of It's a no-no. Really want it lower than that. So here's the deal. Moving averages. The first thing we're going to talk about is just, some different... We're going to use a few different assets because I want you to understand that what I'm teaching you has nothing to do with Bitcoin, because most people think, oh, this is a Bitcoin trade. This guy trades Bitcoin. They don't realize, but I want you to kind of open your mind here and see what I'm saying. I like Tesla with this pullback here, right? I see it making a bigger move. Anyway, it's all about bigger to smaller, smaller to bigger, right? So the idea behind everything is look at it on a 1 week or a 2 week chart. I like the 2 week chart pretty much. It kind of really opens it up. Yeah, this one you need the 1 week, really. So if you go back to when Tesla was beginning and starting to kind of make a bigger move, its first real big move too here. The moving averages were super close together and tight. That's always a good time to start accumulating, in my humble opinion, on a bigger time frame. What's going to happen then, price expands, and as price expands, look, the 21 gets pulled away. Every time you get super far away from the 21 and the 21's away from other moving averages, specifically, you'll get an area where you can make a circle in between the 50 and the 21. Like, you'll get this bulge. See, there's the bulge. You'll get this kind of bulge area. The price will be far from the 21, back to the 21, back to the 21, back to the 21, back to the 21. This is how I knew last night, after the pump during yesterday, that Bitcoin was very likely going back to the 21-day moving average. You see? And again, very low risk trade, right? No one have to really stress being down $44 as we bounce back there for a split second. All right, so bear with me, right? Continue with me here. So we've established what? We've established that on bigger time frames, when the moving averages are very tight together, something's happening. What moving averages? What are we talking about? EMAs, SMAs, what's the difference? What's going on? What am I using? I'm using SMAs. You're going to go up here and type in CBC 5MA DRS and click on it. That's going to give you 5 moving averages: the 21, the 50, the 80, the 100, and the 200. When they're further pulled apart, the price action on a bigger time frame is likely extended. You're basically at a fear and greed that's very high. Your fear and greed will be high at this point. Like, if you use this indicator, when the 21 and the 200 are really far apart, you're starting to get that, you're going to get head and shoulder patterns, bearish divergence, high fear, and the moving average is far apart. When it's time to buy, you're going to get high greed. When you're going to get low fear, or fear at high fear, I guess, in the numbers low, which is high fear, you're going to get tight moving averages. You see what I'm saying? And you're going to get this strange music off because it sounds like we're in ethereal space and time. So weird, right? So anyway, just something to think about there. So with this move, with this information, we can kind of begin to build a picture on, and then now we start to zoom behind, right? We got to go to the 3-day chart, and you start seeing this in motion. Now, what I've noticed is the first sign of the move is all the moving averages are together. Then the 200 will start to linger, and price action will start to break out, and the other moving averages will go. You'll get another section of tight moving averages, but the 200 will be outside. Just like this. That's usually the next bigger move. And you will get a flag. And again, this is where I develop my strategy. This is and so the 21 above the 200, we get the pump, right? So I started figuring this out on bigger time frames. Understand? Really, I think I started figuring it out on like the 1 hour and the daily. Then one day I said, can I shrink this down to the smaller and can I build it up to the bigger? And I started expanding my mind back and forth, right? So take this down to the 4 hour time frame now. And you'd look and you'd look for all the opportunities and you'd be like, well, the opportunity is here. High or low, getting tight moving averages. Here again, we extend. There's your secondary play where the 21 is touching above the 200. But then what do you get? You get a bear div, right? You get the RSI that's flatter up, and you get this on a major move up. Remember, as I told you, divergence is when these intersect. And what you get with the bearish div, as I told you, you'll get a shoulder, a head, a right shoulder. You'll get the 21 above the 200. You can see the head and shoulder on the white, on the 21 moving average. You'll get the 21 above, way away from the 200. Time to get in again is tight price action here. Look at the moving averages. They're so close together. Look what happens when the 21 gets pulled. Remember, price moves away from the 21, back to it, away from the 21, back to it, away, back to it, back to it, back to it, back. It dumps down, back to the 21. It's the same way. This could make a massive dump. Once the 21's away from the 200, flipped upside down. This looks just like this. A dump looks just like a pump. This looks like this. This looks like this. You see what I'm saying? Now you start expanding the mind. Because now you start living in a world where the axis is not flat. But it's just like the spoon. And now you understand what the Matrix was saying, man. Where you become the spoon. You see what I'm saying? Why? What am I saying? What I'm saying is that it changed. The perspective you thought was there was yours. It wasn't the perspective that was given. Meaning, when I felt like when I was looking at the charts one way and I couldn't short or long, or I had a problem shorting or long, whatever. I had both perspectives in my hand the whole time. I just didn't know that. So I thought the charts were telling me what to do, but kind of how convey the message. Once I started seeing the moving averages both ways, I realized it was never that. It's mind-boggling, really. So anyway, let's continue here. Let's kind of move down into the 1 hour time frame. This is Tesla stock because I just want you to understand and say, oh, but they hold Bitcoin, they're correlated. I get it. So we'll look at something different too at one point. But same idea, tight moving averages, there's your entry. There's the flag with the 21 above the 200. This is the 1 hour now. There's your entry there with the 21 above the 200 for the big pump, right? We're still alive, baby. We're still alive, and it's looking like we may get this move. A bit of an unorthodox move compared to what I'm used to seeing, but I'll take a green move any day of the week, folks. And we're in the money here, up 1%. I'm the king of 1%. Nobody makes 1% more than me. I mean, that looks like it's a double down, like that's going to rip now. But we'll see. I'll jinx it, right? So, but the odds are getting higher now that it's like a double bottom, right? Looks like a double bottom to me. And the odds are getting higher because you're doing what's called consolidation. You're going up and down inside of a smaller pattern, getting tighter inside of the zone. This is where you start to hone in. This is what I'm teaching you. So what I'm teaching you just now on Tesla is what I'm teaching you just now. We're just kind of developing a micro-macro strategy here that's eating itself alive. You know what I mean? It's a version of itself inside of itself. It's those Russian dolls. Again, the 21 above the 200. Does it mean I'm going to win every trade? No, but I'm going to do the same thing every time. Because this is how I've backtested every asset, and this is how every big move is played out. We'll take it to the 1 minute, and I'm going to find the move we're playing right now on Bitcoin. Look, we lost the 200. That was a dump. We gained the 200. That was a pump. Look when things have done. Right now we're kind of in something like this. You're on the other side of the 200. You kind of made it. You can almost say there's a downward flag there. But you're on the 21 above the 200 looking for that move to the upside. So you can see my strategy, perfect music for this, but my strategy was developed from the bigger time frames. Again, you can see here the 21 gets away from the 200. They start moving far apart. These are 5 simple moving averages. You're going to get, like I told you, look, I told you this, you're going to get head and shoulder patterns. The 21 away from the 200. The RSI is going to be overbought. Stochastics will be overbought. You're going to get some bear div to begin the move down. Swings down with high RSI. This is swinging up. These do not match each other. So you're going to get bearish divergence. Moving averages far apart. Okay, that's when you begin to get out of trades. You get into trades where the moving averages are tight. When you see it's all the same. You know, there's the inverted head and shoulder. Ends up making a flag here. You can go back to the 30-second and you'll start to see this on the 30-second chart before it happens on the 1 minute. And so every pump starts with a crack below the 30-second 200, then the 1 minute. I mean, every dump, then the 5, and every pump starts with a crack above. Like if this is going to pump again, like right now we're down today on Tesla. If Tesla's going to move, you watch the 30-second. The first thing that happens is you gain that. Then you'll regain the 1 minute. Then you'll regain the 5 minute. Then you'll regain the 7 minute. Then you'll regain the 15. I've watched this happen for years now on every single asset that I've been trading. And I'll watch it for months. I don't take days off. So every morning I see what I saw the night before. And that's gone on every single day for 5 years now. I've never stopped. So my mind has trained myself to kind of understand what's happening time and time again. You see, like this is, and so when someone said, oh, I like your strategy, and I was like, it's not even a strategy, man. I'm showing you how the markets behave. I'm just using an indicator to show, you know, I guess you could say the window of indicators that I'm using. Because indicators are windows, right? Like you could use an indicator and it's like you're looking through the window on the north side or whatever. And I'm using an indicator and I'm looking, you know, whatever. My whole point is here's the market. The charts are going up and down, price action. You're looking through this. I'm looking through that, right? Like someone does, you know, ICT. Someone does fib training and Elliott wave. I kind of, you know, I've studied a bit of it all. I'm not saying I'm not a know-it-all. I like whatever. I like where I sit. Whatever, you know what I mean? Everyone sits differently. Like, you know what I mean? No quarterback threw, you know, some of them threw pretty close, but no one was exactly the same, you know? So, your indicator is your window into the market. You know, here you are sitting, you're looking through your indicator. It's a good way to put it is here you are. Here's your indicator. You're looking through it, right? You're looking through it. And then here's the market. And you're using this intermediary between you and the market that has constants in it. And if those constants keep showing up, you take trades or you don't take trades. This is the key to trading. Like if you don't have this type of system where you can understand what's happening within the first few seconds of looking at the chart, then, you know, and again, that's going to take, for me, it took years. Other people, it was quicker. They were more focused than me at learning it. Maybe they desired it more at the time. I didn't, you know, I was kind of lost in the, you know, life to me was like, I didn't realize how much in charge I was. I thought I was, you know, I did a lot of that, like, you know, it was my boss's fault type of stuff, right? So it was, you know, again, like I told you guys, I had this big epiphany one day when I listened to this video by Ed Millett, and he said, his dad said, why did this happen for me? You know, why did this happen to me? Like my leg right now. Why did this happen to me? You know what I mean? And why did it happen for me? What is God going to show me through my leg? I mean, the pain last night was intense. I'm so happy I'm cherishing today now. Like every second of today, because like, dang, it's not last night. I'm not writhing in pain. So like, I don't know, you know, if that's the best thing I can get out of it, but I'm going to make the best of it. We're getting the pump, folks. We did it, baby. We did it. And we made ourselves some gains here. They called him Sammy Gaines. We moved the stop loss to break even. right? We don't get greedy. I'd rather just get stopped out for no money than you know what I mean? It's better than a loss. But here we go, man, for the climb. Can we get the pump? Nice, beautiful breakout. Shoulder, head, right shoulder. We got it all. It was supposed to happen just this way. Look, you do this 10 times. We've been in the trade 10 minutes. You know, you do that 10 times. That's $1,800, right? You don't get discouraged by smaller gains. You just stack wins. Like, this looks like it could come back so fast. That's why I've been very weary of all the trading recently. It's just... Ooh, look at that. High stochastic. Look, I hit my stop right below the wick there to see if I can get lucky on a move. Sometimes I do, you know. I make my world so small. Wow, we got a candle close there. That was crazy. 28 seconds to see if I can survive this 1 minute candle. You can see the way I trade. No wonder I ain't getting no sleep, you know. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Flip green, baby. Flip green. Let's get more out of this puppy. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Let's squeeze some more juice out of this puppy, man. Close green. 2, 3, 1. Bang, bang. Green close. That next candle should respond. Little bit wick down to the top of this candle, then get a move. Oh, no. We're far from the 21, as you can see, so that makes you think, huh? All right. It was a good scalp. My stop is right here, as you can see, in profit. Again, I was just trying to see if we could make more than we already made today. This is how you add to the stack. Let's go. Flip green, flip green, flip green, flip green. It's about to flip green. One blow, and it goes boom. Pop. Yeah, there you go. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. You already kind of told me you're going to stay green the way you behaved. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Who's riding with me? Who's riding with me, baby? Let's do this. And look, we made 200 off 2,400 bucks. I mean, that's amazing. Keep getting these nice closes on the 1 minute. I'll keep taking it. Just slyly moving my stop up on the 1 minute time frame. You see what I'm doing? Just taking whatever the market's giving me. We're getting further and further from the 21. Started with the flag that was supposed to break out. And I showed you kind of, we were back testing why this works. I was showing you on bigger and smaller time frames the macro and the micro cycle of the idea. Staying inside parameters, keeping our mind calm and cool and collected. Moving stops below next wicks. Setting ourselves up for position. Next 14 seconds in the candle close. How do you know this? Right click. Go to labels. Countdown to bar close. Get it in. Getting a move to the upside. I'm usually more on point when I haven't slept. I don't know why. Lack of sleep, I'm better. I'm a better trader when I haven't slept. I'm hiding on these wicks. Oh, they finally got me. They finally got me. But hey, man, what a run. What a run. We made about 300 on that one. So, and it took what? I think we got in somewhere here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 minutes to make 300 bucks. That ain't bad at all, right? And there's a nice move. And again, that's why I do what I do. Just want to kind of identify the strategy, a bit of an inverted, a break to the upside, away from the 21 tells you that, you know. So same idea is happening here. You can see I eventually see this getting tight and a bigger breaker outer. So I feel like 391, a great place to nibble for Tesla. You do whatever makes you happy. But I'm starting to see a bigger time frame consolidation, just like we saw here. Tight moving averages. Look, this is the same trade here that we just pulled off on the 1 minute. And let's get back into the chat right now and interact. How many people made gains here with the lifer right now? How many people made gains with the lifer? Watch this. Put a 333. And watch this. People will be like, damn, and the way I scalp is just, I do it on the 1 minute as if it's like, as if it was meant to be done. You know what I mean? It's so clean when we do it right. Look at this, man. You won't see a stream. You really won't see another stream where so many people are making gains on the stream with the guy on the stream. I'm telling you, like, that's why the stream is a hit, man. People come here for their fix and they get it. Like, if they come here for a cup of coffee and they're looking for it, they get it. They come here for the trade, they get the trade, they hit. They can go on with their day, man. You know what I mean? They got my stop. Looks like it's going to keep going, though. That's interesting. Hey, that's always good. Gains, I pay it forward. Shout out to Ricky Bobby. Flashing the 20 on me. Flashing the dub on the lifer. Thank you so much for the love, man. I appreciate that. Very nice of you. You didn't have to give, but you did. That will come back to you tenfold, my friend. Tenfold. Tenfold. Amazing. Thank you, everybody that jumped on in. This was an awesome stream. So, took profits on oil, which is still below where we sold it at, which is great. Can't beat that. At BTCC. Oldest exchange, 2011 they've been around, man. Never had a security breach, knock on wood, but they've never had an issue, so. Someone says Ethereum's about to break now. It sometimes follows Bitcoin a little late, Look, there's the move. You'd never see it on the 5-minute time frame. You would have to have been a 1-minute sniper to make that. And look, there it is. There was the sell. I mean, unbelievable, right? Might have gone up a little more. But you don't stress what happened after the sell. You just kind of continue to move on. It is what it is, right? Now we nailed it. And how do you know? You're just too far from the 21-day moving average. Just like I showed you on the weekly. It's the same. What will boggle your mind is that it's the same exact cycle over and over again. All right. So what I like to look at is the Dow Jones. All right. Hold on. Or we used to do the Dow Jones every day. Funny, remember someone recently told me, was the Dow Jones going to dump? I said, no, it looks like it's going to pump. And I gave you, dang, we nailed that one, right? I mean, they were printing money to zero. So, of course, the Dow was going to continue to rip. It looked very, very likely. Kind of, that's what we saw happening. Very overbought here, too, now, though, with some bear div. Looks like the Dow may have to come down a little bit. Why am I talking about the Dow? I just wanted to show you tight moving averages of the 21 pump. Whenever you got the flag above the 21, this is what we just traded on the 1 minute. This is how price action works. This is how it works. I'm teaching you some of the greatest strategies on earth. If you can just let them seep into your brain and again, there it is, tight. Once you hit that 21, the stop below the beginning of the first, wick of that pattern, and then it's gone. And it goes the measured move. I don't understand how this all works so well. Right? It just it does what it's supposed to do. They go where they're supposed to go. This one was crazy. That was I'm pretty sure the pandemic dump, What you do then is you kind of keep the pattern alive, and whenever they break you back inside the pattern, you just trade the pattern as if it never broke. So they broke it, but they broke back inside. Then you trade the pattern again with the measured move, and it hits. Measured move is here to here. And you hit the 21 when you're above the 200. When price action is on the 21, right there, look. It wicked right to it. Same thing here, 21 above the 200. So here, if you're bullish, if they continue to print money, in a regular market, this would be a rising wedge that breaks to the downside. And it's going to dump to where the wedge began, right? If they continue to print money out of thin air and inject quantitative easing, which they're doing right now at $54 billion a month, okay? $54 billion a month. And what I'll do is I've asked this question for you for Croc, and I'll ask it again just so you can kind of see what's happening. All right, we'll go to my history here. and you go to Fed liquidity injections of 2026, right? Look at this. I'll ask it again just so you know, but like I have it here. But it says, hey, Gronk, how much money is the Fed injecting into the markets in the next few weeks, in the next few months, right? So I'll ask it right now. And we'll give you the answer in a second. Wouldn't you want to know, right? So now, look, if Bitcoin's going to continue to go up, what you do now, right, is you can delete what you just did. Remove the drawings. And you flatten out again. Each time with less risk than before. The only time you could do this is if you prepare every trade and know exactly what you're doing before you do it. Otherwise, you're just going to be too emotional and you're going to be too off. It's not going to be great. The key is to keep yourself poised, ready, and on point, and calm and collected. Discipline is the key, everyone. I always thought it was motivation, right? Until I really listened to a mentor. And he told me that motivation follows action. You take action, then you get motivated. Some days you have the motivation is there, but eventually it fades. There's a day you'll wake up and for whatever reason you're a human being, you just don't feel the same. You're not like a computer. And on that day, you have to go with the system that you've created. I get up, I go here, I do it. I get up, I do this. That's why my life has been in the same system for years now. The same workout routine. Even when I had different jobs, the same workout routine. And that's why this is tough too with my leg, because it's like the system that I've created is off. 69,809, 68, you know. That looks bullish to me. So I go 100 for 4 on that, right? You see? We'll see. It's hanging out. But it looks like it's going for another run. And it's Tuesday. It's my favorite day for like the reversal to occur. Let's see. Let's see if we can hit this trade. This one's a little too close to the bone. Looks like they may get me real early, but we'll... Ooh, it's close. A fast loss. That's why you don't want to do what I do, too. You got to be easy. You got to know your risk every time you're doing it. Look at that. Need the 21 to come and catch price before it hits me. Playing very close to the bone here. I don't love the structure. It looked nicer when it was up here and looked like it was going to curve off into the sunset. But you never know. Seems to be some bullish, passionate people here going at the market. So they may just give me another 400. You know, why not go fishing if it's there? That's what I think. That's how I'm going for it. That was a strong green candle off of the 21. Not too shabby. Let's take a look at what's happening around the markets, shall we? Coin market cap in the last hour. What's up right now? Kite AI. That thing continues to go. Actually, we'll take a look at that. I'm actually might be worth trading tonight into this weekend. Into the afternoon and maybe in the weekend. But Zcash stable. Solana 86 holding. I like that. Morpho Decred, which we actually was the only thing worth trading recently, which had a nice little move besides oil. On to the rest of the market's kind of somewhat okay. In the last 7 days, River back up to 18, pumping. So River came back strong. Near Protocol up 40%. Virtual, Jupe, Layer 0, Hyperliquid. Still a few things crawling around out there. Not amazing, but there's some stuff. Remember the newer coins, Enzo, and let's refresh this. Enzo, Conway, Superform, Sahara AI keeps coming up to me. Plasma and Creator. Let's take a look at Sahara. So remember, when I taught you today about the moving averages, you could do on anything. Anything. It doesn't matter what it is. Small coins, little coins, you could do it on 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 AI coin, AI agent. You can do it on a meme coin. It doesn't matter. You can get it done. Also, you can see this thing has been doing the do. See, like here, you would kind of made it into something tight like this. It boomed out quickly. Now it's in another flag yet again. Like if it's bullish, you're looking for the 1 hour to get tight here before it can continue further to the upside. A move possibly to 03657. All right. I like the tightness SAHARA AI there. And that's something I would put an alert on just because the 21's curving up. It is starting to get a little heavy on the bigger time frames, away from the 21 and the 4. Right? And it's probably low, I'd be careful. They're just, to me, these are so high risk that I've been like just doing my thing with oil, gold, Bitcoin, just trading large assets and finding a way to win until the market finds something different, right? Sorry here. There we go. So, see, it's funny right here. When I asked it before about Fed liquidity, right? It said it ends its quantitative tightening program in December and shifted to expanding its balance sheet through the reserve management purchases to maintain ample reserves in the banking system. This involves monthly purchases of treasury bills and short-term securities, right? Current period, February 13th to March 12th. Approximately $13.4 billion in reinvestment purchases, plus $40 billion in reserve management purchases, for a total amount of $53.4 billion. And we're currently in this window as of February, as of March now too. We're still in that window. So the next few weeks, we'll see the remainder of these operations executed till March 12th. The prior period, the 15th to the 12th of February, a similar structure with $15.4 billion reinvestments plus $40 billion in reserve management, totaling $55.4 billion, indicating a consistent monthly pace. Looking at the next few months, the Fed plans to continue this approach without a specified end date, aiming for gradual balance sheet growth to match reserve demand. Expecting about 40 to 60 billion per month in total net injections, combining reserve management and reinvestments, potentially scaling based on market conditions. This doesn't include short-term repo operations, which have been used sporadically, e.g. 40 billion in December and a year-end spike to 74.6 billion. But they are temporary and not part of the sustained balance sheet expansion. So they've already grown their balance sheet to 6.6 trillion from 6.5 trillion at the end of 2025. Already in February of 2026, they've gone from 6.5 to 6.6. They continue to print money, folks. I'm sorry, these are the facts. This is what they do. Look at this beautiful trade, folks, to the upside. A monster move. We did it again. We move our stop loss to break even. We continue to collect and let the market pay us. Look at this beautiful pump to the upside. And you say, well, what about the first trade? You could have just continued to cash in. Yes and yes, no. It's just about making sure you don't lose, man. What a beautiful pump for Bitcoin to 68, about to hit 69. Can we get back to 68, 69, 800 here? Again, getting a sporadic move up out of nowhere. This candle closes in 26 minutes. I'm going to move my take profit up here. Another move. You just taught me something new today, Sammy. Thank you. Hey, man, I'm here to teach people something every single day. If I can change someone's mind about how they think of the world and how they think of themselves, if you can make money from home, it changes the way you think of yourself. You feel good. And money isn't everything, but it helps us complete the cycle that we're in, right? We don't got to go to work for someone else if we can get it ourselves. That's the whole key. Where are you getting money from? Everyone needs to get money because everything costs money. Everything, you can't get food without a dollar bill in your hand or, a digital dollar. You got yourself a dollar, Biba. But you know what I'm saying? I'm willing to get taken out here. I'll put my stop right there. Just, I don't want to be greedy today. I'd like to make more every time it goes up. But I'm also just being really grateful that I'm not losing, right? So we take another nibble off the table there. Nothing wrong with that. And that was, again, we hit the 21. Above the 200, we got the pump. We hit the 21 above the 200, we got the pump. I don't want to sit there all day long. I want to get the pumps. You see what I'm saying? And so I'm just, and again, the original trade could still go too. And it's probably going to continue to rip. I tend to sell early because I sell into the pump. You know, I want to solidify the win. I'm live streaming. You can only understand, you know, it's part of the performance. Hey. Do you see, hey Sam, how often do you look for swing trades, or do you mainly focus on short scalps? No, I swing trade all the time. I swing trade gold for the last 2 weeks. I just got out yesterday. I'm just looking for any trade that fits my fancy, man. You know, sometimes I see it on the 4 hour, sometimes I see it on the 1 hour, sometimes I see it on the 1 minute. It depends. Yeah. And money, even the man to buy Bitcoin will rule the world next 300 years. Bitcoin to 105K. I like what you're saying, man. And shout out to my man, Karaoke Asia. You're spot on, bro. Thank you so much for being here and spreading your 2 cents in the chat. We appreciate that. Hey, Sam, how often do you look for swing trades, or do you mainly focus? Yeah, thank you. If you want high risk, high reward coin, look at, oh, no, come on, man. XAG, you won week. Yeah, thank you. I got stopped out in profit again. How many did anybody make gains again on that flag? Put a 333 if you made gains again, man. Gains again, baby. So I do my job here on this live stream every single day, and it doesn't mean there's gains in the trading group too. Go to cryptolifer.com if you like your experience here right now. You're going to like the way we set up the trades in the trading group. You're going to like the way you can follow my trades. You're going to understand what's happening. This stream will kind of click you into what's happening in the group. Again, a bunch of 333s pumping through the charts. Pumping through the chat. Thank you. Thank you. I tirelessly work every single day to hope I can help somebody and educate somebody figure out this world and figure out this market. There is a way to trade. There's a way to do it right. There's a way to do it with proper risk management. There's a way to do it with the moving averages. And look, now see how the 21's getting away from the 200? So like, there's your entry here tight. Now we're starting to get extended here. You can see, you know. You start seeing this stuff, man. You're going to start seeing the market in a whole new world, a whole new way. Look, the beautiful double bottom just hit the measured move, basically, on the 15. Now you want to kind of come back to where we're at. This is where what I do now is like, okay, I've been living in the 1 minute for an hour now, right? Now you got to zoom out. And what I do here is I usually get rid of the moving averages because they create like kind of a lot for me at one point, a lot to look at. I was blind, now I can see. How many people learned something today that they think will stick with them for the rest of their trading career? How many people see the market differently now than they thought this morning? How many people will keep coming back to the live? Put a 444 if you're going to keep coming back for more. Let me know if you love this stream. Because you love learning. You know, it's not even about me. It's you're in love with the same thing I like. You're a progressive person. We're both progressive people. We don't have to love each other. We just have to be both wanting to progress together. If that's the key, then I'll build off you. You'll build off me. To me, that's real love. Like, people say they love you, this and that, but do they build with you? Someone that builds with you loves you. Someone that just eats off your plate doesn't love you, man. You know what I mean? There's givers and there's takers out there. What are you? Are you a giver or a taker? And to me, there's just, as Crypto Billy told me recently, you're one or the other, man. You can't be both. You're a giver or a taker. And you got to decide who you are. Are you giving or are you taking? Are you taking for what someone built, or are you building with someone with what they built? And you'll know the answer to that question in your heart and soul. And that'll be your true demise. Like, whether if you're giving, then you're going to be okay. If you're not, then you might get caught up. Well, you're going to get caught up. That's the point. So look, I mean, this is a beautiful little move here. This is what we're looking for. Maybe a resistance here. We get tight, and now, you know, this might break out. So what you're looking for now is the 1 hour to stay above the 200 and get tight inside this channel. It comes down one more time. Now we're going to buy here with a stop below the 200 on the 1 hour. This is going to be the swing trade, you see? This is going to be the same trade we just made, but we're going to make it on a bigger time frame on the 1 hour. So what I'm always doing, it would boggle your mind what I'm always doing, because I'm doing so many different things at once. I'm trading gold while I'm trading oil, while I'm waiting for Bitcoin, while I'm projecting this, while I'm doing that. Did we just virtual bond? You're funny, man. Stopped out on profit. Praise all the lifers. God bless everybody kicking it with me today on this beautiful, is it Tuesday? Is that the day? 3-3? Tuesday, 3-3. What a beautiful day. And bless Zeno on his beautiful day, man. Bless everybody out here. Thank you for being a part of the show. We appreciate it. Everyone has a part of the show. Everyone, no matter who you are. If you're here, you've got a part in the show. You've made the show happen in some way, shape, or form. One day, your computer hit the algorithm and pushed me just that much more ahead. You know, your comment hit the chat and pushed the chat that far ahead. You know, you answered a poll. You maybe shared this. Maybe you liked it. Every single person here has something to do with where I am today. Everybody here. You're all blessed people. I'm so thankful. I will always have gratitude for every one of you. My community is basically everything I've ever had, man. So thank you. And, you know, speaking of that, let's put the old lemon in the water, shall we? Decalcify that pineal gland. Get ourselves alkaline. They're trying to push us and take away your well-being, you know. We can rebuild. We can revive. We can win. But we need each and every one of you to be on your best behavior. Hey. Profit takers cover support. Amen. Do we pump or dump? Funny. Gratitude and appreciation, God, sir. Amen, brother. Amen. Amen. So look, and then we take profits. Look at it come. Look at the dump. We sold the top both times. It's crazy, right? Look at that. And now it's coming down, 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 right? So this is what we see now. Now you kind of just take a deep breath and you wait. Now this could take 5 to 7 hours, and then you could be like, well, how long will it take? You say, well, you can hold shift and go sideways, and this is a nice little tool here on TradingView. So hyping up, we're you know, see the class here. We aren't going to do class for 150 anymore. It's going to go up. But what we're going to do is we're going to add some things to the class to make it far more robust. I think it's going to be a 2-part class, 2 days. And it's going to kind of give a lot of we're going to ask you guys questions. What do you want to see in the class too? And, you know, so I'll ask you guys today, what would you like to see in the class? Let me know. All right? Let me know. Let me know. Also, Bitcoin, Las Vegas, baby. Tickets are going up in 2 weeks. I highly advise you jump on in. I usually do a private event. I did one last time. It was awesome. Could probably do it at the same place because it's all going to be in the same spot. So check it out. I believe I'm going to have a whale pass. So if you're a whale, you can whale around with me in some back rooms and have some fun. It's going to be an interesting time to be alive. I'll tell you that. Yeah, we might even be whipping Lamborghinis around Las Vegas over here. So, you know, but it's not that long from now. It's in 2 months, man. April 28th, 29th, and 30th. If I'm correct here, Bitcoin La Vega, right? So Bitcoin Las Vegas, the 27th, the 28th, and the 29th. Get your tickets today. I have a link to the tickets. If you just go to any of the links, or if you happen to forget or something, but you want to get 10% off, you put in the code LIFER. LIFER, baby, LIFER. All right? Bitcoin Las Vegas at the Venetian Hotel. It will be a blast. And you can stay in the Venetian, and it's in the Venetian, which is so nice. So you don't have to leave the hotel to have an amazing experience, meet so many people, and be a part of something bigger than you've ever thought possible. Bitcoin Las Vegas, baby. It's a jam. It's awesome. I have a good time every single time. There's certain things that I buy every time. I come home with so many things for the kids. It's a short flight from Florida, like 4.5 hours. It's not bad at all. So, all right. Indicators it wanted to study, yeah. Sambo, it's always a great morning with you. God bless you, man. Stay positive today in this beautiful world. If you're in the West Coast, it's 8:30. You're just starting out. I love that I can get you guys going from your 5:30 to 8:30. If you're on the East Coast, we're getting to our middle of our day. It's crazy when the stream ends. I've been up since, 6, 7 in the morning. We've already been grinding. We've taken profits. We've traded our butts off. Already, I've traded my butt off today. I'm a trader, man. You know what I mean? Through in and through thick and thin, through in and throughout. I'm a trader, baby. I can't get it out of me. Kind of looks like a head and shoulder there. So look, beautiful pump with a dump. It's amazing. Look, you never know when it's going to, I did a great job making sure I didn't give back any money to the market. Beautiful execution after already winning earlier today and not being greedy, right? And who knew? And being able to catch it at the right time, too, during the stream. Look, that's a head and shoulder pattern now. And you go to the 15, you'll see, well, the 15 minutes away from the 21-day moving average. And we told you, when you get away from the 21, price action gets toyed. Toy like a toy govy, right? So to me, you're getting inside of this. Which actually, I think, to me, has started to look a little more bullish than bearish. But it does look like we're going to get some sideways price action till about, it says almost till Wednesday, but at least, maybe tonight around 10, 11 o'clock could be a good time to get in. And by the time tomorrow morning comes, all right, look at they're dumping that puppy now. And is someone freaking out? Like, they're like, oh my God, it's dumping hard. But like, we're just coming back to the 21. Just a little faster than most would want us to. But yeah, just back to the 21 there. It's what happens. No big deal. Okay. So our bullet scenario is we get tight in here. This gets tighter and tighter. Nice little pump today that fought off the bears. Otherwise, this would have been kind of a lot slumpier. So I'm not stressed, and I like the two scalps that we took. Let's take a look. I want to zoom out for a second and see one thing. I want to see if we're far more. And look at that, right? That's beautiful. That was a nice short. I mean, look, the 21 was curving. Let's go over the facts. Remember what we talked about at the end of the stream? I said you get out when you have bear div, right? Well, the RSI was pointing down while price action was pointing up. The 21 was away from the 200 moving average. Look at Bitcoin on the weekly, and you'll see it looks exactly the same as this. You had bearish divergence. The 21 was away from the 200. Like, what's the difference between the 1 minute, right? Look at this. This scenario right here. That's Bitcoin on the weekly, isn't it? You see how they're the same? There's your bear div. There's your 21 away from the 200. There's their RSI pointing down as price is pointing up to the upside. I like to make them even the same size so you can, you'll be in like a weird state when you're like, what? So like there's the weekly, there's the 1 minute. They're just basically doing exactly the same thing. The 21 is away from the 200. You get a bear div. I think this is one of the best streams we've ever had, really, to put things into perspective for you. Been in short since I got stopped out for the profit of the second trade. Stops at profit. God is great, Sammy. Is the GOAT. God bless you, man. Shout out to Zeus Cash. Amen. Amen. Shout out to Lakochi Coker in the house. Thank you for being here, Lakochi. Hold us down, man. Man, I can't pay nine. It's against my code of honor. If they want me, they will pay me. I could just refuse you. Hey. I'll get you in over here. Hey. It's a write-off over here. No, I know. I get it. I'm with you on it, man. I'm with you. But I'll be hanging with you anyway. You know, I'll be on the floor hanging with you the whole time, man. So we gotta schedule some. We gotta schedule. Let's schedule Delmonico. Let's go. I'm going to Delmonico's with you every night, dude. That's my favorite. I'm just gonna go to Delmonico's 3 nights in a row and call it a day. You know what I'm saying? I always gotta fly in at night like in the afternoon, you know? Just open a long, bounce off the 200 on the 1 minute time frame. Interesting. Let's take a look. You got me ex-sweeted. It didn't bounce. Oh, you mean it was close to the 200. I see what you're saying. Was it the 5 minute that it bounced? Oh, yeah, the 5. Wow, you're trying to be a legend right now. I get it. See, I'd wait for this to do its thing. The cool thing is, this just might. I love these little tiny worlds that I live in. What are you doing here? What was that? Yeah, here I was here to show you. Let's look for a real bearish scenario. Like, because, like, you know, I always want to make sure I'm giving myself both perspectives fully. And so after I figure out exactly, and I'm like perfect with my idea, and I'm all set, I'm always like, okay, let's break that down and see if there's a bearish idea that I haven't looked at. There's our song. I didn't play the song today. Did I throw you off? Did anyone get thrown off because I didn't play the song? Or was it okay? I just figured some days, you know, you got to change it up. Can't be the same every single time. You know, I have to be honest. This could tumble over. Tumbelina. You know, to the downside here, head down to what, 53,500? I'm still under the impression that we're making bear flags in the bigger time frame. But no matter what happens, I see at least 8 hours or 12 hours of sideways price action in the nose here of this. But yeah, I mean, this could easily just make a right shoulder. See, shoulder, head, right, roll over and dump. Yeah. Is it a big Adam and Eve? Sammy has the coolest elevator music. Yep. I just threw 1,600 punches at 8. 2-minute rounds of the Cobra Reflex bag with 11-ounce Phenom boxing gloves like Ryan Garcia. You sound like a boss. Keep going. Don't stop. We need more warriors like yourself. Give us more chances to buy more Bitcoin for the future. Soon people will realize Bitcoin is the dominant asset of the world. More Bitcoin to keep your future up. Thank me later. Shout out to Karaoke Asia. I love it, man. Keep cheerleading Bitcoin in the comment section. I have no problem with that. I have no problem with that. You were spot on, my friend. Shout out to all my crypto lifers out here. And may God bless you. And don't forget, man, we were all, you know, most of us were silver stackers before all this happened. Man, look at that beautiful silver bar, man. Look at that thing. Don't drop that on your foot, right? Hey, oh yeah, I remember I made myself small for the, for Trump the other day. I got to get back to big again. Sammy, get back to big. No, I ate a little cupcake. Look, I ate a cupcake.
Yeah, I'm really small like Alice in Wonderland and I can't talk. Oh my God, they're making me small. What if I did the stream so small? And you just had to see me down here. And that was it. You're like, there's Sammy, he's over there.
No, I'm back to big again. I've always there's something going on with Lewis and Carroll's Alice in Wonderland. He's trying to tell us something about the universe in which we live in. That and the Matrix, they both have the white rabbit. Don't you think there's something there? All right. Why do they both have what was Lewis Carroll trying to tell us about the looking glass? Right? It's crazy, right? And isn't there like the reptilians too? It's so insane. The real Alice in Wonderland, I think, has some things in it that they don't put in every book. It's like, I think they kind of like, they didn't want it to like scare you. IBIT selling Bitcoin heavily. You said heavily, but I think you mean heavily. Yeah. Dude, this is where you get legendary. Well, you open up along here. It's 8-1. And see, the thing is now when I've won 3 trades today. One that was open for a while, but closed it with a win. I consider that today a win, though. The day you close the trade is the day you won the trade. It may have taken weeks to win the trade, but the day you close it. So we're looking at 67,278 here for BTC. And man, you gotta love the lifer, man. You know, the voice of crypto, bro. Like, we don't stop. Like, you just flip on the channel, you know he's going to be live. Like, it's just crazy. Most dependable guy in the game. I love this character I created, this lifer guy. Who's this guy, the lifer? Who is this guy? So look, what I did is I did a really crazy trade. I risked $100 right next to price action. Basically trying to be a legend with a buy off the 200 right now. It may work, it may not. I'm being extra risky now because I can, you know. Oh, yeah, it was a hit. Yeah. Full moon pump. Yeah, and Bitcoin loves to pump with the full moon, too. Look at that. That was the fastest $30 I ever made. $26 in half a second over here. Can I get 3%, please, though? So I can do my whole 3% gig. Hey, I'm the king of 3% as it goes lower and lower and lower and lower. Is there no days off over here? Can I tell you? Can I tell you, babe? Okay. So what a day, man. We've had some fun, huh? We've had some fun. We have explained why things are happening. You can understand the market in a different way now than you did at the beginning of the stream. Things are starting to give you some more clarity as far as I'm concerned. Let's take a look. Look, Sahara's pumping too, and we even talked about that in a way. The only thing that looked hot to me. Let's look at the total market cap in all of cryptocurrency. We did go over this every single Friday for you in the macro technical analysis video. Watch that video. It's out every single Friday. I work tirelessly for you to get that content out to you. When I didn't do it, people got, hey, what happened to my update? They said, got to get it done. You know what's crazy about this is this is a hidden bullish. I've never considered this idea. One could think maybe you could say, you know, you bounce off the 618, you know. You'd think I was surprised we didn't get that right shoulder. Like shoulder head, like right here, we didn't bounce for the right shoulder at least. Probably might be better off in the long run that we didn't, though. You know what I'm saying? Full beaver moon, baby. Yeah. Get that beaver, baby. And someone said oil just took a dump, and that's why we sold oil off already. We sold oil. I told you when to sell it. We got rid of it. It was an overnight trade that pumped all night. You know, really just war scare of Hormuz. The Hormuz trade. It was the Hormuz trade, you know. As crazy as it sounds. Look, we're getting a bounce now. Bitcoin looking like really, you know, to me, like it's just going to either... And here's the deal. You could wait for it to break above the 200 and for the 21 to catch, and then we could trade the biggest trade of our lives right there. That could... And see, when we reverse, I'm going to hit it. I just know. I'm going to be here every day. My strategies have pretty high probabilities, and one day I'm going to see my strategy when we reverse, and I'm going to trade it. That I know to be true, and that I know to be to what, you know, and then we're going to win. Because we show up every single day. People win. The consistent people win. You don't even have to stress when you're consistent. You just know that you're going to win. Show up more than everybody else. Practice more than everybody else. You're going to be, look how good you'll be at your emotions. You've been on the 1 minute for thousands of days straight. You're going to be able to trade the 1 minute better than most people because you're in a pocket on the 1 minute. It makes sense to you. You're not running scared. So possible hidden bullish divergence in a way I've never thought about on total. It's, you know, and we just need to get this monthly candle to close green, please. And we can start a possible move back up. It very well could be a move back up. We could be experiencing the bottom right now and not even have known it right there. A lot of people think that was the bottom. It could be. They're definitely playing with us if it was. Like, they don't want us to see it too clearly. They're making this look like a bear flag. I'll tell you that. That looks so bear flaggy to me, it's insane. We're kind of stuck with the same scenario here for Bitcoin as we are for total. One say, okay, it's the Adam and Eve, gonna bounce back and change the game. And it really has a lot to do with this 4 hour. The 1 hour and the 4 hour really are going to tell the tale in the next couple of hours, throughout today. You lose, like if you end up closing a candle below 2.26 trillion and Bitcoin tanks, I mean, that's the beginning of that's a bear flag and we're done, you know. But if this thing cooks on the 1 hour, which it may, and it really depends on Bitcoin today, folks. So the total market cap's following Bitcoin basically exactly to a T. Let's take a look at the super chats here and see what people are saying in the fan funding. Will Bitcoin grow tonight? You're so funny. I hope so. Sammy, always grinding. You're an inspiration. I need to learn these moving averages. I think we did a really good job explaining them today in a new way, in a fun way. And we spent a lot more time teaching today than normal. Sammy, best mentor in the game. I didn't get to Fibs. I told you it was going to take a lot. I knew the show. I wanted to answer your super chat, but tomorrow, hopefully we can get to Fibs. I apologize for not getting there, but once I start teaching Fibs, I'm going to really teach Fibs. It's going to take a half an hour to a half, And I already kind of had a plan today. What do you set your RSI at? Thank you. I just keep it the way it is stock. 70 and 30. When you're at 30 dotted line, a dotted line at 70. Yep. Sam, I needed to hear that. Be grateful for every single penny. You do, man. You just got to be grateful for everything. It's how you gain more. The second you're upset about a win, you're going to lose. You're perpetuating the idea that you're not grateful for stuff. And when you're not grateful, you don't create abundance. When you don't create abundance, you don't have high frequency. When you don't have high frequency, you can't attract wealth. And when you can't attract wealth, you live in scarcity. And so, it's up to you to really create that vibrance, that frequency in your life that will attract, I'll never be broke again. I will continue to attract money in many, many ways. Money flows to me in many ways. I say it every night. Money is my friend. There's no problems with money. Me and money have a great relationship. Money flows to me every single day in many different ways. It finds its way to me, man. I work hard every day too. I make it happen. I open the doors for it. But money will find its way to me every single day of this week, man. I will find a way to win. I will win on my trades. Things will go our way no matter what. I don't have to stress it, And God is great. So I stay in the present moment. Today, do I have enough money for my food, for my family? Of course, we're more than enough for today. I have more than enough to get through the next 24 hours. That's another thing. People think about way too much. Do you have enough to get through today? You know what I'm saying? Look, I may win this trade again, too. This would be epic if I win this one. I go 3 for 3 on the scalps. Now we're back in the pocket. This is how it used to be, baby. Last week or a couple weeks back, losing 3 times. What the heck? Get out of here. We winners over here, man. I'd be so epic. And again, trading on or near the 200 is usually just, the risk to reward ratio is amazing. It's really nice. Let's see. And, I'll update the group to this trade is what happens and where we end up with that too as well. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Who we got? I want to see who's going on here. Let's take a look at the top fans today. We got Ricky Bobby holding me down. Thank you so much. We got Frank Glazer. We got Andre Mateo Music, Mark Fletcher, Karaoke Asia, Jojo, ZB3PJ, Zervando Estrada, my man, Jake from Reddit, Ulrich White, Darren Sullivan, Doolin Dalton. What a name. Like that. Victor Helderweir, right? Zeus Cash, Yandi, IGC, Lakochi Coker in the house, Heart Mother, C Torp, the Blues Guy, Louie, Too Many Cars, Mike, can I get one? George 3141, Shinosuke Gamings, right? TM Hustling, Jacobot, Jake D. Jones, Ryan Sear, Dutang, Dumpster, Surf Diving, Jada K. Hurry, or Jadal K. Hurry, is that? RP, Michael, Reliable J, Bablu, You Grow, I Grow, Vegas Claw, Dude X, Frankie Frank, RPC Music. I might have missed someone now, I don't know. Kendor James, you can see I'm winding down. Mr. Miller. And if you see your name, Chris Ghost, E-Slide, the Ghost Rider, I don't want to slide anybody. E-Ratas, Beats by JXN, Kendor, Todd Beak, Bitcoin King, my man, Rocket Man in the house. Rob Roman, thank you, Robbie. Mr. Miller and Co. Syed Quadri, we love you, man. Syed Quadri, we love you, man. Slight Edge, man, that's awesome. I like that idea. And D1XQ1DX in the house. Vegas Claw, of course. Dude XD. I think we got everyone. IDV99333. Michael Dose. You people are amazing. You're unbelievably awesome. Let's see if we win the third trade in a row. Keep it pushing and keep it moving. I mean, it's been an amazing live stream. I'm grateful for every single moment I spend with each and every one of you. And I'm thankful for every single time that I get to hit this mic. Please follow me at CryptoLifer33 on X.com. I'm out there all day long. Follow me on here, The Real Crypto Lifer, Sam Price. Please follow us. We're here every single day doing amazing things. And we're actually doing more and more. We're going to have awesome content coming out for you too. So check it out. Stay tuned. It's coming at you. All right. Look at that beautiful bounce, man. And again, the 5-minute 200 moving average. You can't make this stuff up. Someone put it on to me, actually. You were legendary. Someone was like, I'm taking it. And then I took it. So I've been here, Sammy. Just haven't been chatting much today. I have a show Saturday, so I've been practicing my set. I'm so proud of you, man. Keep doing your thing. I'm excited. You're going to do great on your show, bro. I wish I could be there for you. God bless you. Stack McChange, man. You're the buddy. My long-term friend, man. I love you, buddy. First-time listener. Love the vibe. Not sure where you're from, but I'm from Jersey. Makes me feel back home. I grew up in New York. I grew up in Boston and New York, but I lived in New York for a long time. So, yeah, if you're from Jersey, you're going to feel a New York vibe. Over here. Hey. Everybody, I love you so much. I always got Sammy playing. Hey, you did a good job, man. Got me in the game, G-Bang. G-Bang, right? G-Bane. Do we hit 70K today? Thoughts it's possible. Yeah, who wish I got out of bed earlier, a little sick, needs some lemon water. My man, God bless you, Jamal. Don't stress, man. All gravy, baby. All gravy. Last night was tough for me. I'll tell you what, I was in a lot of pain. Sharp kind of like nerve pain that felt like it was stabbing. Never ending. It was torturous. But hey, it made me grateful for this moment. So I'm grateful for every moment that makes me grateful for the next moment. I find a way to trick my brain, man. You got to brainwash yourself into being positive sometimes. You know, you got to make positivity out of it. You got to be creative to be positive. So we're watching this flag. We want to get above the 200. We want to see the 1 hour continue this move. But to me, it looks like we're going to be going like tight in here sideways, right? Glad I can watch every day at work. God bless you, man. You're blessed. Yeah, the more war, the more people will move their wealth to Bitcoin. 100%, man. No one wants to be stuck, and they're going to have to move around. So what are you going to do? Everybody, thank you so much. As we come to the end of the show, I just want to say thank you so much. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here and being absolutely amazing. Hanging out with the Crypto Lifer and kicking it every single day. Without you or your constant viewership, your love and support, your comments, your likes, we wouldn't have a show. We wouldn't be one of the biggest trading shows in the game. I hope you learned a lot today. I hope I did my role to help you feel more confident in your trades through education. That's the key. We're here to educate you every single day. And again, no, I am not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice. Get your own financial advisor and do your own due diligence before getting into any project, coin, or trade. I love you. I appreciate you. If you want to learn more, if you want to be a part of something bigger, you want to keep it going, go to CryptoLifer.com. Subscribe to, it's funny, I should always, but go to CryptoLifer.com, subscribe to the basic, the quarterly, or the annual subscription. All right. I can't wait to see you in there. I'm there every single day. It'll blow your mind, the education you get. I love you all. I appreciate you. And I will see you all tomorrow. God bless. Thank you so much. Stay amazing. And remember, the secret to success is getting started, baby. I love you all. Thank you so much. Thank you for the awesome compliments on the background. I love you. We ran another clinic as usual. Bang, bang, bang. We nailed it. God bless you all. Thank you. I'll see you in the group.